It is a great honor and a privilege to introduce Rivka Avigail. We're here in your beautiful home in Jerusalem. And Rivka, thank you so much. If you could tell us a little bit about...
But you have to know that I don't speak English. My English is very poor, very bad.
Whatever you say, Rivka, it's good.
What I can, but I want to speak in Hebrew.
No, but Hebrew...
Because Hebrew is my language.
I know, but it's really good. Okay, whatever we can, Rivka, it's wonderful.
Bueno.
So Rivka, if you could tell us a little...
Okay.
Rivka, whatever you can, if you can tell us a little bit about your family.
Yes, my name is Rivka Avigail Gartenlaub. The name of my sipur, my history, can be it can be. You see, it's
no, it's good. It's very good.
My history is, the name is three numbers and three miraculous. It's my
your story.
My story. Today my name is Rivka Avigail. But when I was born, my name was Regine Rivka Gartenlaub. About very many years, because very many years, 91 years. I was born in Kaf Tet Tammuz. Taf Resh Tzadik Bet.
It was 91 years ago.
Yes. In August. In August 32. My name then was Gartenlaub, the name of my father. It was a name, a German name. This name had to be changed after a few years, when because I was a little girl, a Jewish little girl, it was very dangerous to be in France when the German, the Nazi, came to France, and then my name is what different. It was in French sound, Gartelot. It was my second name, and after, when I came in Israel, I received the name of my husband, Avigail. My name was Rav Eliyahu Avigail, and the two first names are the symbol of the Galut. When I could not be who I was, a Jewish girl, and because they want to kill me. But the third name is the name of the true name. When I received my true identity, when I came here in Eretz Israel, as three names, and two from the Galut and one from my father's country. And after I will tell about the miracles. Yes, I was born in Paris in 32, 32. 1 year before the. It's terrible.
No, it's amazing. 1 year before Hitler came,
Before the Hitler, Imashimo
came to power.
took the pouvoir.
He took he came to power and
The power. And like I said, my father was not born in France.
Where did he come from?
In Bukovina, in Kimpolong. Kimpolong was a little city in Austro-Hungary, and he left this country to come to Paris, to France, because it was very many anti-Semitic people, and he came to Paris, and he was young, 20 years, and he was it's terrible.
No, Rick, you are doing amazing.
No, it's terrible because I have not well.
You're doing. He was working with watches.
Yes. Then the people had to give the watch, because it's not like today.
He was a watchmaker.
Yes.
And he would fix watches.
And he began to work, and my mother was not born. It's okay. Was born, yes, in England from parents who came from Russia, from Kishinev, my great mother, and my grandfather from Odessa. And then there were very many pogroms in Russia, and they escaped.
They fled
and came to Paris also, and they were married, before.
I think this is before they were.
No, it's not my great father. It's my father, my family, and when my mother was a very young girl, she met my father, and they after that
they got married.
They got married. It's my family.
Here's a picture of your parents.
It's my parents when they were young. My father was from a very, very religious family, but when he came to France, he had to learn French. And he went to very many conferences, and I want to speak in Spanish.
No, you're doing amazing.
And he went to our lectures, and for a few years he was not religious. He knew philosophy, and then they are married with Rav Herzog.
The chief rabbi.
He was in Paris. He was the rabbi of the synagogue in Paris, and my father and my mother, the Rav Herzog are the big Herzog. After he went to Israel.
He was from Ireland. He was a chief rabbi in Ireland, and then
yes, that's true. And and they continued to live in Paris, and they had 4 children. My great sister was a very big musician. She learned, and after she was a big teacher in the National Conservatory in Paris, and she was a very big pianist. And my brother, my sister was Odette Sarah, and my brother was Georges Liebermeller. I don't know from where the name, maybe someone. And then he was a pupil in the Lyceum, and after I was, and my little sister Dina, she came to the children Gagné Ladim.
It's like a kindergarten.
Yes. And my father had bijouterie, Chanut Tarshitim.
Oh, with jewelry, jewelry.
In Paris, in a very nice place near the opera, and we are living near the
This picture.
This is, yes, is my father, and then he was not so religious. You see, it was in 31.
This is before you were born.
Yeah, 1 year before I was born, and this is with an uncle, not very. And after when I was this, yes.
This is when you
when
you
I
were
was
born.
a little. After it was I think 24, maybe not 23.
So
Yes, here I am. I am 2 years.
2 years old.
Entonces, yes.
Such a beautiful picture.
And
This is amazing. Sure.
yes, and I have a picture from my little sister. Where is it? It was she was Dina when she was a little girl. Oh, it's terrible for me to speak in English.
No, Rivka, it is amazing.
I like to speak,
Rivka,
to tell in my language.
Rivka, you are amazing, I'm telling you, and it is incredible, and it's so
Because
important.
I learned when I was in the school, but I never spoke in English.
Well,
Never.
Rivka, you are incredible. This is so beautiful, these pictures, Rivka. They're so... Rivka, how did these pictures survive?
Yes.
How did you keep,
Yes.
how do you keep
You know
the pictures?
why?
It's
Because
incredible.
I was not in a camp. I was a hidden child. The people
Yes, sister.
who live today, now, if I was in a camp, I was not here
I know,
today.
I know.
It was impossible to survive. For this, I have pictures of my family. You see, because they did not take it all the family, the little family. They took my great father, my grandfather, all the family of my father in Bukovine. They took them, and they died in Transnistria. All the family, and I had in France uncle and they took them also, my little family, father, mother, and my sisters and my brother, we survived. And for this, I have pictures.
That's
you see, because, well, I want to
Rivka, can I just ask,
I was born in France, and I was French because in 27, my father and my mother received the French identity before I was born, and for this I was French, but never I felt that France is mine. Never. Why? Why not? Because my father, from 33, all the time, my father said, I am ashamed to speak like. He said all the time, you know, it will be very dangerous to stay here, because here in France, in 33, very many years before the war. But my father read my Kampf.
He read it.
He knew what Hitler wants to do, and he knew.
Could he read German?
What happened in Germany? And in Germany, very quickly, the Jews could not be there. And very many Jews came to France from Germany, but no, not all the Jews. And my father saw.
He saw what was going to happen.
Yes, but it was. He said, but we stay in France. Why? Because it was not so easy with 4 children to go and to go where. We had not family in Palestine, and for this we could not come to here. The people who came then had received certificate for us now, and all the from 38 all the countries
they closed.
Yes, only Cuba and República Dominicana.
And there was also Philippines. The
yes,
Philippines also,
but not Anglia, not Great Britain, not America was. And
they had quotas,
and you know, because in 38, all the people, America, Anglia, Great Anglia, and very many countries made
they did a conference.
Yes, conference by Evian, you know. And you know what they said? Roosevelt did not want this. He said, no. But they do this. And Cuba and República Dominicana and Philippines, they said yes. But Australia said, the big Australia, they said, we have not a problem of anti-Semitism. and we cannot receive Jewish because we don't want. No, the Jews are murdered, and they said this, and they said no.
Canada as well. Canada also.
Yes. For this, we stayed in France.
Can I ask, Rivka, did your father read German? Did he know German?
No, it was not. He spoke. He knew. He was Austro-Hungary in the beginning, but after he was Romanish, and after the time, but never. He spoke German, but he did not because his language was Yiddish and German.
So he could read Mein Kampf, he could understand it.
Yes, sure. You know, he learned in the school, he learned in German. But I never heard him speak German. He did not want. And we stayed in France.
And Rivka, what is the earliest memories that you have growing up? The earliest, when you were, what's the first thing you remember when you were small? What memories do you have?
I don't know.
What memories? What do you, when you were a small child, what do you remember?
I have very many, but it's not so interesting because I have memories from when I was 3 years. But I remember well, I have to say that the war, no, Milchama.
The war
Began in 1939 when Germany
they invaded Poland.
To Poland, and Polonia was comment se dit Balad Brit. Qu'est-ce Balad Brit? Was friend with France and with.
They were allies.
Yes, and for this France had to begin the war.
Yeah.
But from September 39 until May 40, the German were not in France. They were in Poland, and after in Holland and Belgium.
Belgium.
And from Belgium they entered to France in May 40. Okay? And I remember the first German. Okay? I saw. I was in the Chanut.
You were in the shop?
The shop of my family, and a German came to buy something. In the beginning, the German soldiers were very kind. Oh, very kind with everyone. And my father did not speak with her. My mother, he spoke French, and he saw. I was in the shop, in a corner, and I think that he saw me, and he went, and after 5 minutes, he came with a very big kufsa.
A box?
With ugot.
With cakes?
Cakes. From very... And he came to me to give me the... And I said, I don't want. I was 7. I was 7.5. And I said, I don't want. And my father and my mother saw they were afraid. Why? Because I knew that the Germans were bad, and he was. He did not understand why. Maybe he had a little girl in Germany, and he went. and I was very proud from it. It's you ask if I remember, but I remember, and then in the streets and in every makom.
Every place.
Every place. Oh, thank you. I will remember my English now.
And Rivka, did you go to a Jewish school, a kindergarten, a Jewish kindergarten?
No, I was a little girl, but yes, and in France after. I learned English, but never, we did not speak. We could read and translate.
But before the war, were you in a kindergarten?
No, I spoke only French.
And did you go to kindergarten to
Yes, I went to the school.
Was it a Jewish school or
No,
a public?
In Paris, it was an English school, but very, very rachok.
It was far. Far.
And I was a little girl, and my mother thought it's not so good that I was a little girl to go in the metro.
Yeah.
And for this, I went to a school, not Catholic, but school, not Jewish. And if I could be in the school, the Jewish school, I could not be here today, because one day they came and they arrest all the children, all the pupils, and they transport to Auschwitz or Sobibor, and nothing.
No one.
Nobody. The children, the pupils, and the prophet and the
teachers.
masters, the teachers. For this, I can, because I was not in the school, the Jewish school. It was very dangerous, and I went to the school, and.
And Rivka, did your parents? Did they keep Shabbat? Did your mother keep Shabbat?
Yes, they did not work. The shop, it was not. They did not open the shop in Shabbat. It was difficult because in France it was forbidden. In France they had to isgor.
To close.
To close only the Sunday. Saturday. Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
But my parents did not go. And yes, because before I was born, my father was another time very religious. When I was born.
He became.
And he took me to the synagogue. Yes, I remember this when I was a little girl. And
do you remember which synagogue?
Yes, I remember. It was Rue Pavée in Paris, and we had to go. But I remember this, yes, and. But one day, when in the first year when the German were in Paris, I came back from the school, and I saw in my I want to see I saw this. It was in the vitrine, and in this you see what. All the Jewish had to put this. That it was right in English and in French. So it's Jewish. Well, as I saw this, but the life continued, and I can ask. How they knew that we were Jewish, because the first rock,
The first law. The first law.
When they came to France, as to oblige the Jewish to go to the commissariat to say that they are Jewish.
They to register.
Yes, and you see, it's not mine, but they put in every Teuda.
In every document.
The word.
Just the ID card. The identification
yes.
card.
And it was is from my mother, and the picture had to be like this to see. No, you have a document. It was it is every time it's like this.
From the side.
Not from in profile, but for the Jewish, yes, because they want to see the noise, the Jewish noise, or else, pero see, and it was, and then all the Jewish did a false,
ID.
and it is for my mother is a Jewish, im Jewish, and in the beginning they wrote Jewish like this, Juif, but they saw that very many Jewish they efface.
They erased.
Then they put like this. You see, it was with this. They could not efface this. It was the Chorim.
They made the holes. They actually put
yes.
And you couldn't erase
Yes,
it.
you see. Yes, and
this is the forged.
okay. And for this, they could know where are living the Jewish, and they put, and then every day they did new laws. The Jewish could not work. Doctor and journalist and all the professions they could not do. Can't do, and teachers and my sister was learning in the conservatorium. They put
they were expelled.
Out, yes, but I could go to the school. The school and the college, they did not say that it's impossible. No, and they began to arrest Jewish. In the beginning, they arrested the Jewish. They are not French. In France, there were very many Jewish from Poland, from Germany, from Russia, from Romania. They were not French, and they were the first. But after also they arrested French and French, and all the time we heard that another time, this from the family, this from a friend. And in France, the people don't know this generally. There were 50 camps. No camps comes from concentration camps, not comes to, with gas and like Auschwitz, and but it was one only, near Alsace. But in all the France, when they came, the German, they took if was there, you can see this. I want to. No, maybe there is also. You see, this is the map, and you see here in the middle, you see.
They're divided.
It was in the north. It was France occupied, and in the south it was France with Pétain. Pétain was a friend of the German, but 2 years it was like this. And the people could not go from here to the.
Was the Vichy?
Yes, it was Vichy here, and in the north where I was in Paris, it was Germany, and it was a very big camp near Paris, Drancy. It was a camp from Drancy. They took to Auschwitz, Bergen-Belsen, all the camps in Poland, where they took all the time. And one day they said that the Jewish cannot be they cannot be with a shop, and they took the shop with all the Jews with all the thing, and also the apartment. We are living near the shop, and we have to go another place in Paris, and my mother asked.
No.
We live after near the Republic. Republic in another quarter. Yes.
When did you have to wear the yellow star?
Slicha?
When did you have to?
When we went to the second place, they said that every Jewish from 6 years had to go with this here. Sorry, this. And we received 2 like this, and we have to pay for this. And I went with this. I went to school, I went to the shops to buy, and my father had all the week we was at home. He did not go. Only Shabbat, the Shabbat, he went to the synagogue. It was very dangerous because very many times they went to arrest the people who was in the synagogue. And my father went, and not only my father, but I was 10 years. Yeah. My little sister did not receive this because she was 6, and she cried because she wanted this also. And I went with this, and I was very proud. I said, I am Jewish, it's okay. Very many Jewish, because it was more dangerous in the street, because the Jewish could not be in the street from 8 o'clock in the evening and until 6 in the morning.
A curfew. It was a curfew.
Yes, but only the Jewish. No, not all the French. And as I remember, that one day I went to the school, and in the end of the year, it was I was the only. I had to say, look, I forgot. In the beginning, in my class, there were another Jewish girls, but one light, and it is the first miracle. I said, one light. No, it was 5 o'clock. We heard that in the street there are German and French people, and we look, and the house en face, moule,
opposite,
and we saw that here and here there is light, and after a family in the street they went, and they came from house to house, and we said, now they will come to us, and my mother prepared before something with because we knew when they came quickly they take the Jewish, and we live in the street Rue Mellet. I want to see. We live in a street Rue Mellet, and in the number 9, and we heard the approach, and we did not saw what happened in our side, and we heard that they came to our big house. There were 6, and they continued. They did not enter, and we did not understand what happened. And after a few minutes, they came back, and we said, now they remember that we are here. No, they want, in France, in Kolbait.
In every house?
In every house, there was a concierge.
Yeah. In every building apartment.
Yes, she has to give the letters, and they enter to ask to the concierge, to the woman. They wanted to take a family in the number 11. They don't want opera. They want something to break.
Right.
And they went. And I wanted to say, when I came back to the school, I was the only Jewish girl. They took all the Jews in my street, and it is the street. It's very, you see, it's a very important book.
Glassman.
And he put in this book very many documents, and the documents he put a street in Paris. It's my street, and you can see here my name in the number 9. You see, in the number 9, it was Gartenlob. As you see, how many Jewish there were in my street. It's one street. It was not a Jewish quarter. In France, there was not ghetto. You know.
Different districts.
Yes, but streets in more Jewish, but street without Jewish.
What was the name of your street?
Melee, Rue Melee. Is okay. Here. For me, it was a surprise when I saw this. Why? It's my name. Well, it was my name. Well, entonces, what happened? And my mother remembered after that one day she was in the room of the concierge, because my every day she went to ask if my brother, he was in the resistance in the south of France. He went to the Maquis in France.
The resistance.
And resistance. And he was yes,
16.
60. He was 16, and he could write. And every day my mother asked, maybe there is a letter. And one day she spoke with the concierge, and two men
They knocked?
and they entered, but they did not saw my mother. My mother was they could not see her, and they asked to the concierge, there is another family Jewish in the house, because very many Jewish were in the second. They lived in the beginning here, but they went to the second zone, but they could not know. As they asked him if he is there in the big house, and she was a good woman, but she did not was so clever. And my mother, without word, she she said no. If my mother was not in this moment in this place, we are sure that she could say yes.
It's a miracle.
Yes. And for us it was a miracle, the first. Well, entonces, bueno, and I could go to the school, and I remember, so one day I said, when I came from a friend, we had to prepare a sketch or what, something for the end of the year, and I was in the street, and I said I have to go to my home, because it is seven a little more, and I cannot stay with her. The other girls were were Jewish. And I was in the street, and suddenly I saw a woman who came. And in the beginning, I thought that is my mother. But I thought, no, she cannot be my mother, because she cannot be in the street. And this woman came more and more near me, and then she gave me
a smack.
Here, I said it. She was very strong. Here, and it was my mother. And I thought, what happened to my mother? never, she could not, she never did. And then the children did not ask never to the parent why the children has to, and I did not say nothing. And only after very many years, when I was here, and I went to visit my mother in Paris, I asked her, why did you did this? And she said, you did not understand. I was meshuga. I thought they took you, that you cannot, that you...
Because of the curfew.
Yeah. Yes. And for me, this was a very big siman of love.
A time of love. Yeah.
It was love of my mother. Bueno, every day the axiot, yes, were more and more. And one day it was in July 43. One day my sister came to home, and she said that she heard that during the night they want to arrest all the Jewish in Paris. And as my parents said, well, my little sister and you and me, we cannot stay. We have to go out. And where to go? And my sister had a teacher, a Catholic. Catholic she was, and she said to my sister, if we need, she can help. And they decide. My sister very quickly will take Dina and you and me to this woman. And it was terrible for me, because before I was not so afraid, because I was with my parents, and I knew that I knew that they can arrest me, but I wasn't with them, and suddenly I had to be alone with another name. I had also, like my mother, I had also and my little sister also, and I had to be Catholic in a name, no Jewish name, and I had to be an actress, to be all the time but we don't know where we will be. And my sister took my sister and me, and I cried. I thought, it's the next,
the last time.
It's the last time that I see my parents, because during the night they will be arrested. And my sister took to Madame Chevery. Madame Chevery, יש לי פה, she was a teacher. This woman, she was a teacher of my great sister.
And she was Catholic?
She was Catholic, and her husband was in Germany. She was a soldier. very many French soldiers were, they took them to German.
Oh, he was a prisoner of war?
Prisoner, but not Jewish. She was Catholic. He was in German. And she was alone with a little boy. And we came to her. We could not phone because they took the telephone, they took everything. We could not told in the street. We could not enter in the public telephone. And we went to this one, and she was at home, and my sister told that what it will be to guarantee the night. And she said, okay, they can stay here. And my sister said, my parents knew two people, no Jewish, who live in the Kfar.
In a village?
In a very small village. They knew them once, and they said once they can receive us. And my sister said, asked to Madame Chevrier if she can take us there, and she gave very much money, because my father, she could not, she had not the shop, but she worked all the time, because he was the הכי טוב.
He was the best.
The best in Paris, and all the time the people came to the new apartment, and like this they had money, and they give money וגם books with very many Jewish to give to this family in the camp, if they said, and my sister came out. She came back to be with my father, my parents, and we stay with Madame Chevrier. And the first thing that she says that she did, he took Misparaim,
scissors,
and she took this, and she put the Magen David. She put it. It was the tanur.
In an oven.
Okay, yeah, yes.
She burnt it.
Yes, to burn this, and it was terrible for me. I thought, how she can burn Magen David? It was, and she said, you cannot be with this. Now you are like Catholics girls. And after one day, my sister came, because during the night they decided, and I could read this in an historic book, that they said no, the German, and they did not come to us, and we went to the place to be hidden.
Did you remember saying goodbye to your parents?
I said goodbye. Sure, but I knew that maybe it's the last time. It was terrible.
Were you with your young sister?
I was in my little sister.
Just you and your sister.
And it was very hard for me, but I had a responsibility. I had to be the mother of my sister. And for this, I had to, all the time, to speak with her and to lidogla. And
you had to worry about her all the time.
And we went to this place, and it was they were married, husband and wife, very, very, very primitive.
This is in the village.
It was not. In this place, there were maybe 4 farms. It was a big farm, and they were
primitive.
It was one room. They sleep in this room, and they ate everything. And in the corner, it was a little bed for my sister and me, and without electricity, without water. And I said, we have not we cannot do nothing. No, but they had something very, very important, wine, because there are very many, des vignes,
vineyards.
Yes.
Vineyards.
And wine they had, but no water. And don't remember, and the life is what.
Do you remember their name?
Hmm?
Do you remember the name?
Yes, sure. The name is what? Roland et Marcel Plessis. That's the name. Generally, I forget. I cannot. I don't know. I don't want to remember, because they were very bad people. For me, I had to work. I want to wash, to cook, to go out with the cows. I was very small. And for me, and I had to go with all animals. There were pigs and horses. It was a very big part, and I had to work. And I was in the day we came, I was 11. And for me, it was terrible, because they were bad. All the time they said they want to say that we are Jewish, and they were people very, very bad. And I could not cry. Only when nobody could see me, I cried. But every night, when I went to the bed to sleep, I put the sardine.
You put the blankets
To my
to cover your.
And I said, very, very, very
softly, very soft.
I said Kriyat Shema, and I prayed. You know, I didn't know what I said. I did not know what is it, Shema Yisrael. I thought, because I learned to say Shema, Kriyat Shema, but they did not know. I did not know what is it. What is the meaning of the word? I said, Shema Yisrael. I thought, Shema. I said to Kadosh Baruch Hu, Tishma.
To listen.
I thought that Israel say. I did not know what it was. Yaakov was Israel for the children. I did not know this. I had no time to learn. And it's the only time that I was me. And it was his man.
Very difficult time.
Time very terrible.
How long were you there?
And we were 7 months. And
Just
one
you and
day,
your sister?
yeah,
Yes.
I could write to my parents, but never I said what happened, because I knew that for what they can do, and why I have to say that I am miserable. They did not know. But one day my brother, he was in the resistance, and he came to visit. It was dangerous, but he came, and he saw that I am very nervous, and he saw that we cannot be here, and he said to my parents, they had to repèse, qu'est-ce que c'est? Chercher, to change.
To change.
To change. And my parents asked to Madame Chevery if maybe she knows someone who can receive us. And she said yes. She had a house in the south of France. And near her house, they were a couple of. He was represented of Peugeot. He had mechanics, and she asked them if they had no children, and she asked them if they accept us, and they said, why not? And she said, but you have to know they are Jewish. And they asked, what is this? They did not know. But they accept. And Madame Chevery accepted to take us from, because they took her to Paris and to be in my home 1 week. And Madame Chevery accepted to take us in the train to Charolles. Charolles is the name of the second place. It is a city, not very big, but near Lyon, Macon. So.
And when you came back to Paris first?
Yes.
For 1 week?
Yes.
And you saw your parents?
Yes, they were. I think that it is not only 3 miracles. There is another miracle for my parents and my sisters. They were in the apartment. The miracle is nobody denounced.
Nobody denounced.
Because very many
and they stayed
French
in the apartment.
Denounced Jewish for money, and nobody. Everybody saw, knew that they are Jewish. It's a miracle. So that nobody came to the police to say they are Jewish, to take the apartment. Menos. And we are 1 week, and after my sister take us to the
to the station,
to the station, the train station, Gare de Lyon. Okay, it was, and Madame Chevery was there, and my sister gave her our documents, and Madame Chevery looked the documents, and she said to my sister, "Wow, it's no good, it's no good, because everyone can see that they are false.
They're forged.
Because they were true and also not so good. And my sister said, "As well, maybe we waited to church another document." And Madame Chevry said, "No, we will try." But it was very dangerous because it was not permitted to take the train to the Jewish. It was, and during the voyage,
In the voyage.
they not always, not all the time, but very many times they came to
Inspect.
Spain, and it was very dangerous. And Madame Chevry said, "We will try." And my mother buy for me a very big poupée. Comment c'est ça?
A doll?
Okay, because I was, they could say that I am Jewish. I have the Jewish face, and she said, when you will be in the train, all the time we will put this in, because it's very dangerous. My little sister was very clear, look like me, and we enter in the train, and there were 8 people, and my Madame Chevry, she took a little boy with her, and I was with my sister and me, and all the time I was praying that I prayed so much that it will not an inspection, nothing. All the time. I was afraid, and suddenly the train stopped, and in the door of the compartment was a German policeman, and he asked for the documents. And the Gveret Chevry gave the her documents and our documents. And like every time, the policeman has to look the name and the picture, and he looked to the, and he did this. As he looked every document, and he gave the document to everyone, and in the end, he took in with Zik in the hand one document. It was mine, and he looked to the document and looked to me and the document and to me, and I was sure that he will say, "Out, you are Jewish," and me and Madame Chevry also, because it was he could not do this. And after, for me it was like 100 years. I was white. I thought, no, הרגשתי.
You felt.
I felt that the blood
was drained.
Yes. And he could see this, but I did not say anything. And after, very, very, he looked, and he looked me, and he went. And I thought, wow, he did not see that I am Jewish. And he went, and after many years, when I was in Israel, yeah, and when I went to Paris to visit my family, every time I went to visit Madame Cheverry, she lived in Paris, and once she said me, you know, she was very Catholic, and she said, you know, every day from this day I prayed for the arm of this German. She prayed for this German. I said, why? She said, because he saw that you are Jewish, and he gave us the life.
He saved.
She
Another
was
miracle.
sure he saw. And it was for us the second miracle. There is another. And we came to, we have to finish for you, it's okay. And we went to the new couple. They were very, very good people. For they wanted that we will call them Papa and Mama. And I cried. And I said, I cannot. I have Papa and Mama. I said, yeah, very well. You can call us Dod ve Doda.
Uncle and aunt.
Tata ve Tonton. They were so good for us. They knew that it is dangerous. But they received very much money every month.
But it was still very dangerous.
But it was dangerous with this.
What was their names? Do you remember their names?
The name, it was Annette et Elie Cherrier. It was the name. And then I went to the school, to the college. I was 12 years. And my sister went to school, and they are so good for us. But there is a but. In the first place, I had not to go to the church because they were not church. But in this place, yes, they were, and I had to go. Come there with them and with my little sister. And never in my family they did not say you cannot enter, because it was evident that I am nothing to do in the church. In Paris there are very many churches, but in Charolles it was one, and I had to go. And when I entered in the church, for me, I was paralyzed. And because I thought, I don't know what I had to do. There is something with water. And everyone enter to put the hand in the water, and after they send this, you know what, how you say, le signe de la croix. And say, I don't know how I can do this. But I thought, but if I don't do this, if I don't do this, they saw that I am Jewish. As I said, I made something like this. But, and after I had to sit with all the people, and I have a little book with all the saints called Kedoshim.
The saints.
It was
incense.
Incense. And from the first moment that I enter in the church, all the time, with comment c'est ça?
They put wafers.
No. I don't remember how you say this. P. What is it?
The mouth.
Mouth. You see,
No,
I don't know
it's
English.
incredible.
It's terrible.
With the mouth.
With the house closed. I said all the time. Then inside, Shema Israel, Shema Israel, Shema Israel. It's not so easy to say Shema Israel with closed mouth, but I did this because for me it was I was a little girl, and I did not know if I can do this, but what I could do, what I can do, and I thought I beg pardon, comment c'est ça? I ask to Akadosh Baruch Hu
To forgive.
Slicha, and I thought like this. I am Jewish. I am Jewish all the time. They cannot say nothing to change me, and it was very hard. But but it was the only moment hard in Sharol, in this place, because they are so good, and like this. I went. We know that the American and the English they went to Normandy. I know. I know that they go to Paris, and one day it was the three in September 44 in Sharol. I saw jeeps with people from Anglia. They enter
From
to
England.
In Sharol, and I was so happy. I thought, wow, it's the end. I can go to my family. It was. And entonces I thought, never I will not be never miserable from now. And I wanted so much to go to my family. The people, Adad V'Cherier, Tonton Tata, they were good, but not my family. But it was not so good because my parents, they came to visit us after. And
how long were you there for? How long were you in the south of France?
Exactly from April 44 until September 45. Why? Because Tonton Tata said to my parents, they can't stay here in Paris. There is not food. It was true. The German took all the food.
Even after the war, you stayed?
Yes, they said they can't stay another year, and my parents said, why not? Because they can eat here, no kasher. But it was no kasher. It was not so good, and my parents, my father and my mother received the shop. Very many Jewish did not receive. They could not receive because the woman who takes the shop was collaboratrice. She was with the German, and she has to go. And the shop was, as my parents had to work very much, and they thought all the day we will be in the shop, and it's a very cold in Paris, and they thought, but I did not know why, because they did not explain. They said you have to stay here.
But Rivka, when you saw your parents, when they came to visit you, it must have been wonderful when they came to visit you.
When?
When they came to visit you and your sister.
Yes, it was wonderful. But they came back to Paris,
they went back.
And we had to stay another year. For me, it was another year hidden, and I could not say that I am Jewish.
Even after the war.
Even after.
And your brother survived? Your brother who was in the resistance, he survived?
Yes, it was a miracle also.
The whole family, your sisters?
My brother survived, my great sister survived, my father and my mother. And they were in Paris together, but I was in Charolles.
And could you go visit in Paris after the war?
No, I was in Charolles. I could not go. It was very difficult.
Did they send you letters? Did you receive letters?
I could write.
But it's not the same.
Every week I wrote a letter. But it was for me, I thought that they don't like me. For me, it was like this. It was very hard to accept this. But it was like this. The children could not say nothing.
But they never explained. They didn't.
No. And very good. After this, in 45, we went to my home, and the tonto, the tata, they were. You see, it's a picture from this. It's a picture from Charolles, and they put this in my when they prepare all the in the valise. As they put this, that I will remember them. They are Charolles. They from Charolles. It's not important, but they were. They liked us.
And here you have a picture of. This is after the war.
It was during the war.
This was
not
during
after.
the war.
It was in 42. In Paris.
This was before.
Yes,
before you went into hiding.
In my home. It was in my home. Before we had to go out. And my brother was not, because he was in the resistance. As only my sister, my parents, and Dida. And
this was in 42. In 42.
Yes.
This is before.
Yes, and and the life began. And
this is your parents many years later. Rivka, it's just such miracles. It's incredible.
Yeah, sure.
That a whole family, when so many people were deported and.
Yes. You see, it's important to see. It's very in Yad Vashem, because I asked for her that she will be Hasidah Umot HaOlam,
righteous amongst
because
the nations.
It was he did as you know, here he received.
And here she received.
He received she's not, yeah, she
But she came to Israel?
She came to Israel and to make the
at the Yad Vashem.
Olive
And they built, they have a tree.
Today it is a very big, very big, you see, after, here we can see the tree. And
this is her a few years later.
She with me, yes. After
and Rivka, I just want to show from what she did, just from your family, we have over here in your home.
She said that for her it was the day more marvelous in her life.
But this is your family,
but I don't speak. I don't tell the third miracle.
What is the third miracle?
I said too. As you know what it was. The third miracle after the war. I had to learn. To go to the college and after to the university, but I was like a body with alma, with neshama, bli neshama.
Without a soul.
I was miserable because all the time I was thinking about all 6 million Jewish who died, and why I did not dead, why
you survived,
why, and what is the meaning of my life? It was for me it was like a Shoah. After the Shoah, another Shoah, because I could not be happy, never. I was 80, I had 19, 18, 19, 20. And it was very hard. In my family, all the time there is hungry with me. Wyatt, you cannot be happy. Why you cannot be all the time? You say that the life is hard. It's not. And they didn't understand that I had the Shoah in me, in my, and then when I had to begin the doctorate in the Sorbonne, in the university, I had the first the maître no, I don't remember. I was learned in the university. I had to do the doctorate. And then my mother said, maybe you want to go to Israel with a group. And I said, okay. And she said this like she could say, well, maybe you want to go to Greece for her, because my father was anti-Zionist.
Wow.
As Israel for us, we did not speak about Israel. And she said, she heard that there is a group of students, Jewish students, who they go to Israel for 1 month, and she asked him if I want. I said yes, and I went with my with Dina, my sister, and we came here with both, and I did not speak Hebrew, and we have not family in Israel. I did not know anybody here. And when we went in Haifa, as I had to descendre, comment ça s'appelle? And I am in the near the boat, and it's a pity
You
that
felt.
I cannot say
Rivka,
it in
I know what you said.
Hebrew.
You
because
felt.
I said this in Hebrew.
Okay, בעברית. Okay.
כשירדתי מהאונייה לארץ ישראל, שלא הכרתי אף אחד, כלום. קרה לי משהו, הרגשתי.
Something happened when you came to Israel. You felt something. You had no family here, but you felt.
לא הייתי סיוניסטית.
You weren't
לא ידעתי על ישראל כלום. אז for this, אז אני יורדת מהאונייה, עומדת על הרצפה, ואז אני מרגישה ששורשים יוצאים לי מהרגליים ומחזקים אותי, מחברים אותי לרצפה. זה היה משהו נפלא. לא הבנתי, מה קורה לי? מה קורה?
Your feet are connected
אני
to the
הרגשתי שהנה, אני הגעתי הביתה, אני בבית שלי, ואמרתי לאחותי,
You felt this is your home.
אמרתי לאחותי, אני לא חוזרת לצרפת.
יום הראשון שבאת לארץ.
Yes, it was the first time, and I said I don't remember. No, I don't go to France more. I have to stay here. I am in my country, in my own country. No, France is nothing for me. Here, and I thought like in another, אני הרגשתי שיש לי נשמה חדשה.
You felt like you have a new soul.
ממש,
Like you have a new soul.
הרגשתי כאילו שזה חיים חדשים עם נשמה חדשה. אחר כך קראתי שזה כתוב שאדם שעולה לישראל, כשהוא לילה אחד בארץ, יש לו נשמה חדשה. וזה הרגשתי ונשארתי פה.
So I'll just translate. You felt that this was your home,
yes.
and that you had a new soul.
הרגשתי,
and you felt
yes,
this is
yes, sure.
It's unbelievable.
I did not what I could do. I went to kibbutz to learn Hebrew. I did not know Hebrew, and in the kibbutz, I have to work and also to learn.
Which kibbutz did you go?
In the Negev, Sad. It was religious.
You were with your sister?
No, my sister came back to France.
She never felt the same as you?
No. She said me, she began to learn medicine. She wanted to, and she said, well, I will learn all the years medicine. After I will come back, but until today she's in Paris. And I am here alone, but nobody, I was alone. And in the kibbutz, there was a teacher from מחשבת ישראל. She learned Rav Bal Shaul, as he came to learn to the Ulpan. And the other people in the Ulpan, they did not so interesting. But me, see, yes, I understand every word she said, he said. And he knew how speak. I could understand, and I don't know why. And one day, he gave me I was alone. Those did not want, and he asked me, you after 3 months, and never we did not speak together. He was very religious. He was Zionist, yes, and he asked me, you accept to marry me? And I said yes.
And
he said, you understand what I said? we thought that, I don't know. I said, sell, yes. And we decided to be married. And then he wanted to leave the kibbutz because he wanted to learn in Merkaz Arav. He was the pupil, the Rav Tzeuda Zal was his master. For his
Who was the Rav?
Slicha?
Who was Miraya Rav?
Rav Tzvi Yehuda Cook. Okay? And well, as we will be married, and in Paris, because my parents wanted to see him, and after we were here in Israel, and he was a teacher, he was a Rav, he was he wrote books, and he was he went to אני אגיד בעברית, הוא חיפש את 10 השבטים, והוא החזיר לישראל את השבט מנשה שבישראל, זה הוא.
So your husband brought back the lost tribes of Israel and the tribe of Manasseh.
Yes, it's my husband. He was in India, in Mizoram, and Manipur. He was 25.
So I'm going to just show a picture of this. Is
he was a very big man.
And for others,
he was a teacher for teachers.
Rivka, who's the Rabbanim in the picture with your husband?
It's Rav Shapira, the Rav Rashi, the Rav Eliyahu.
And Rav
Eliyahu, Rav Shapira, and my husband. And this is my great child, okay? Who was assassinated in Merkaz Arav.
Oh, he was
8, yes. He was studying.
And that's when they had the terrible massacre in Merkaz Arav.
Yes, and
may his memory be for Aliyah al-Shamayim.
Yeah, sure. No, we thought that he had to do something for 40, 11, 12, 11. He was 5. הוא היה בן 15.
15 years old.
15 years.
And Rivka, if you can show us your family, your very special.
Yes. Wow. For me, it's for me, with Magen David, with here, this is my vengeance.
It's the nekama, and it's the comfort as well.
It's nechama
v'nekama. It's your comfort and it's the revenge.
Yes. For this I had to live. For this the German gave me the life in the train to do this. And I was a teacher, and I was.
And Rivka, Kenanora, how many children did you have? How many children? How many kama yeladim?
I have six children. I don't know.
Baruch Hashem, yes.
Shishim.
Well, Bezrat Hashem,
I have more than 100 great children and great children. Yes, I have.
So Rivka, I want to thank you. I'm just going to put this.
Yes.
We're going to put this back where it belongs.
You see, it's also children.
So Rivka, I just want to thank you. If you could, Rivka, if you could come into. It's magnificent to this, and I'm just going to come into the picture as well. So Rivka, I'm so grateful to you. There are no words. There are no words to thank you.
But I am sorry.
You were amazing.
It's so bad.
Rivka, really, in Kolalev, with all my heart, I'm so grateful to you. And you should just have at Meves Shrim in good health, Mazel Bracha. And Rivka, could you give a message
to
the future generations? What message do you give? What
Oh,
message can you give
yes,
to
sure.
your children and to future
I
generations?
think that we after two 2000 שנה
2,000 years
של גלות, מגלות.
of exile.
Now we have our country, הקדוש ברוך הוא gave us a place with earth שלנו. He gave our country, the country of אברהם אבינו ויעקב ויצחק ויוסף וכל זה, ודוד המלך, they were here and you can't be here. Why stay there? Why? The Jews have to come here because the galut is enos. We have to live because we are waiting for the Mashiach. And the tribes have to come when the Mashiach יבוא, here, not in the galut.
Rivka, thank you so much. You should just have Mazel Brocha, Rivka, and Toda Rabba Im Kol Halev.
בבקשה.
Thank you.